Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News First at 4 starts now.
Good afternoon, I'm Karen Drew. First at 4, many Americans might be looking to the skies and wondering, what is next? Here in Michigan, we are closely following the shoot down of an unidentified object over Lake Huron. It happened yesterday. It is one of 3 objects brought down since Friday. Many questions remain, but the White House reached at least one conclusion.
We do not assess that these most recent objects posed any direct threat to people on the ground, and we are laser focused on confirming their nature and purpose, including through intensive efforts to collect debris in the remote locations where they have fallen.
Now, Michigan lawmakers have also been getting briefed on the situation. Victor Williams picks up our coverage this afternoon. Victor.
Yes, hey Karen, the good news is that investigators are saying that these objects are not dangerous, but they're still trying their best to figure out what in the world they are and get to the bottom of all of this, including a source. Now, as you guys know, it's been a total of 3 of these flying objects shot down in just the last few days. In a way, all of the attention has been focused on the objects ever since an illegal spy balloon allegedly launched by China was discovered and shot down on February the 4th. Now, the difference in these compared to that one is that these are flying significantly lower at about 20 to 40,000 feet versus 60,000. Now, the latest one shot down over Lake Huron is currently being recovered for examination so the Department of Defense can figure out what these objects are, where they came from, and ultimately what they do. Now, we did catch up to 2 leaders, Senator Gary Peters and Representative Elisa Slotkin, about their thoughts on all of this.
We're still not sure exactly what it was, who owned it, what its operation was. That's going to be determined once the debris field has been accessed, and the Coast Guard is in the process right now of recovering that to take a look at what it is.
Nothing changes the fact that the Chinese government did, send some sort of balloon over our skies, kind of kicking off this era, and that to me is a change. They determined yesterday that there wasn't a payload, there wasn't something dangerous on that object, and then shot it down in a very purposeful way.
Now, Karen, you had a comment from the White House just a few moments ago, and we'll be diving even deeper in depth with all of this at 5 p.m. with National Security spokesperson John Kirby. For now, we are reporting live. Victor Williams, Local 4.
All right, we appreciate it. Thank you, Victor. We'll see you at 5. Well, as Victor mentioned, this all started with that Chinese spy balloon that was shot down Saturday, February 4th. China still claims it was a weather balloon that blew off course, and the incident has raised tensions between the 2 countries. Since then, objects have been shot down off the coast of Alaska, over Canada, and Lake Huron. The White House says the military has adjusted its radar to focus on slower moving objects, which is one reason we may be seeing more of them. For now, the U.S. remains on heightened alert for anything flying into its airspace. Well, a short time ago, the Ford Motor Company revved up its commitment to Michigan with a big new investment in electric vehicle technology. Ford's top executives and Governor Whitmer announced the $3.5 billion plan. It's going to build a lithium iron phosphate battery plant over in Marshall, Michigan. It will bring 2,500 new jobs to western Michigan, but Governor Whitmer calls it a victory for the entire state.
We've been identified as one of 3 states that will dominate battery manufacturing by 2030, and we're working together to make Detroit the next Silicon Valley.
Ford says diversifying and localizing battery production will help the company avoid future supply chain issues. Now, the factory should start production in 2026. Former Michigan State basketball star Keith Appling was supposed to go to trial today, but changed his plea just before it started. Faced a handful of charges in the shooting death of a 66-year-old man. Sources told Local 4 the 2 men were related by marriage and may have been fighting over a stolen gun. Today, Appling pleaded guilty to second-degree murder and a felony firearm violation. Other charges were dropped. Appling faces up to 42 years in prison. Sentencing is set for March 3rd. State police say a missing 3-year-old girl has been found. We've been following this search all day long. It's believed the little girl was with her father in spite of a court order to give up custody. Police now say she is safe and sound, but didn't share details on where she was located. Her father didn't follow a court order to surrender her to Child Protective Services. That will now happen. Police calls this a civil matter, and their investigation is over. We're also learning more about the injuries in this house explosion over in Melvindale that left behind twisted metal and a hole in the roof. Firefighters say it was a gas explosion that hit late last night over on Wood Street. That's close to I-94. 2 people were injured, a 52-year-old man and a 1-year-old boy. They have minor burns and are in stable condition this afternoon. Work was being done on the water heater in the basement. Firefighters suspect that was the cause, but they're working to confirm that suspicion. This afternoon, it's been sunny, 50 degrees in February in Detroit. You definitely cannot complain about that combination. So, Kim, can we keep it up, or are things going to change?
Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to keep the warm temperatures, but we do bring in a chance for rain by tomorrow night. But right now, oh, it's so pretty outside. Sunshine. The sun now doesn't set until just after 6 o'clock, so you have a little time to enjoy it. 51 at City Airport, also Metro. We did make it into the low 50s this afternoon. 49 in Mount Clemens, 46 in Pontiac and Lapeer, upper 40s over in Ann Arbor. Now, it's a little bit cooler in some spots than it was at this same time yesterday by about 5 degrees in Pontiac and Ann Arbor. It's 6 degrees colder right now than it was yesterday afternoon, but then warmer out to our east. All right, the My Picks that we've been talking so much about. It's a new feature on our Forewarn Weather app. You can just upload a picture of something that you like, whether it's your pets, your kids, whatever it is. This beautiful picture of a sunset comes to us from Detroit and Sheila Kay. Just go to the Forewarn Weather app to upload those My Picks. I'll have more on the forecast coming up.
All right, thank you, Kim. Love is in the air. Scammers know all about it. The number of romance scams being reported is actually setting a new record, and with Valentine's Day tomorrow, several agencies are actually issuing a scam alert. Consumer investigator Hank Winchester live for us this afternoon, and really, Hank, thousands are being targeted.
Karen, this is really sad and unfortunate because a lot of these scammers are targeting seniors too, reaching out on Facebook or maybe even Instagram. They start to make that connection, and then comes the ask for money. And as you'll see, people are losing a lot. Romance scams are booming throughout the year, and especially as we approach Valentine's Day, and victims being targeted in states like Michigan and Ohio at record numbers. The FBI, Homeland Security, even the IRS issuing alerts.
There's a number of these things, and they always send up red flags. We're in tax season now. But unfortunately for the criminals, they're always thinking of new ways, so it's always fraud season for them. They're always trying to get into our pockets.
Homeland Security in Detroit saying, quote, "I urge the public to use caution when meeting people online, and even more caution when it comes to fast-moving romantic relationships with online personas." The reality is scammers, unfortunately, targeting seniors and those who may be lonely, looking for love. They strike up a relationship online, but quickly it moves to an ask, usually an ask for money or for gift cards, victims losing thousands of dollars. Let's take a look at the numbers. Last year alone, more than 70,000 people reported romance scams. The actual number likely much higher. There were $1.3 billion in financial losses total. The average victim losing between $2,500 to $5,000. 58% of victims say the scammer first connected with them via social media. We're talking about Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, and various dating apps. This might be a good time for you to have a conversation with the seniors in your life, to warn them about these scams, to have them fully understand exactly what can happen here. And as you saw, many of the victims losing thousands of dollars, and so many people not even reporting this crime because they're simply just too embarrassed. We're live here tonight. Hank Winchester, help me, Hank. Karen, back to you.
I know, you feel so sad for these people because they're trying to find a little romance and they just get taken advantage of. We appreciate it, Hank.
Yep.
And Hank, like the glasses,
happens.
are you trying to copy me?
That was my goal when I woke up today.
Yeah.
I said, what can I do to be more like Karen Drew?
That's what they all say, right? Just kidding.
Yeah.
Well, you look good in those glasses. Keep them. All right. Thanks, Hank. All right, still ahead. First at 4, we could learn more about a criminal investigation involving the 2020 election. We're working on that. We're following a battle to make more information public. Also ahead, why thousands of people in Israel fear their democracy is in danger. We've got the story behind this massive protest. But first, new earthquake rescues, but time's running out. Conditions are getting worse for additional survivors. Also, we do have some new video of dramatic moments when that quake first hit. We'll be right back.